good citizen way is to go help others that might have been through it, that might go through it, and we could help them so they won't go through it. Also to basically just talk about it and tell the story and allow people like you did to get the book, you know. Once again, I want to also make sure y'all understand, please hit her up on her website because we need to get this book. And we definitely want everyone to know the story and we need to support it. Also, you can hit me up on Tracey, the Tracey Mclean Show on Facebook, so that we can also start a movement for purity.
Writing The Truth Hurts, it actually, in the beginning, I felt like it was therapeutic. In the beginning, I remember, you know, crying at times and pausing from it and rereading it and like, wow, this really happened. Some parts anyway, you know, because a lot of it is a figment of my imagination. And then as I got towards the middle to the end, I actually laughed at certain parts because I was like, yeah, I got them. You know what I mean? So yeah. I was able to change a few things and it appeased me.
But did you know that it's a very big possibility that even though it might be a figment of your imagination,
it's somebody else's truth.
Exactly. And that's a big thing. And those people that everybody that has anything to say tonight, please, you're welcome to call in. If you have any questions for author ROSSLYN Johnson, you can call in now, 915-5202. Is there anything that else you want to share?
I'm just still surprised about different women have been contacting me on Facebook in regards to situations that they actually had with the perpetrator that, you know, that I had in mind while writing the story.
Okay.
They don't want to be named. They don't want to come forward. Everybody is not, you know, not strong. Some people look at it like they blame themselves when they're not to blame.
That's so true. What I do find out is just that even though they might not want to be, you know, come forward and they don't want people to know their name, they can be strong behind the scenes. It's okay.
But what I don't like is, you know, the moment that they continue to remain silent, that's another victim that was, somebody else became a victim because they remained silent. Had they came forward, maybe my child would have been spared.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely
You can't, sometimes you just see, if it's more about the children and it's not so much about you and you feeling embarrassed or shamed or feeling like somebody's pointing a finger at you and you think you put yourself in the mindset of a child, who's going to protect them if you remain silent?
Well, I also feel like it's so hard for children these days to be able to tell their story. So many children try to and
they're ignored.
Like, they're ignored, or they're like, "I'll be quiet. So-and-so ain't do nothing to you," and that scars a child more than you can say. You know, so many different type of things are going inside the home, and it's sad. It's sad. So I hope that you actually, I know, well, not that I hope, I already know that you helped a few people so far. So
when I look back over this time period, I never wanted to forget, because I wanted to learn something from it. So I definitely learned from it. I learned more about myself. I learned about all the people the characters of the story. And I just want to say this, it's just a stain. And if you dig deep enough into other people's lives, everybody has stains of their history. Just like wounds. Some people have wounds that will never heal because they cover them up. In order for a wound to heal, you got to bandage them, uncover them so that they can heal. And I actually got part of that quote from T.D. Jakes. So in order for things to heal, you must uncover them. And so writing the story was therapeutic. And you see, the first time I came and I talked about what happened with The Truth Hurts and what inspired the storyline, I was so emotional about it. But now I'm cool. Time does heal all wounds. You don't know how you'll react to anything until you actually put through it. But when it's all said and done, I walked out, I feel like a survivor. We're stronger than I ever knew.
That's the key, a survivor. And it's definitely possible for you to be a survivor. It's definitely possible for you to have your purity again through God. I am a very strong believer in God, and I would like to go on record by saying that, and also author ROSSLYN Johnson. And that in itself is a strong, it is my ground, my basis, my everything. God is my everything. So without him, things that I've accomplished or things that I went through and grew and learned, I wouldn't have been able to do it at all. And do you think the same way?
I do, because when I couldn't call on anybody else, when you text somebody and they don't respond, when you dial somebody's number and they don't pick up, that's the only person left. He's always everything. Everybody else is just human.
And God don't have a cell phone.
You can just stop right where you are and call on him, and he will comfort
Absolutely.
you beyond measure.
Oh wow, that is so awesome. That is awesome. I would like for y'all to call in at 804-915-5202. This is a very sensitive subject today, and if anyone has any views or has any questions, you are welcome to call in. And we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back in a few minutes. You can call in 915-5202.
We're often asked, what exactly does the United Way of Greater Richmond and Petersburg do? The simplest way to answer that question is, we help people. That's it. That's our one single goal, to help as many people in 11 localities in the Richmond region as we can. We help people from all walks of life. We help families, babies, kids, teenagers, moms, dads, older adults, people with health problems, people with developmental disabilities, people coping with depression, abuse, or mental illness, people who want to make their lives better, people who want to help other people who need hope. How do we help so many people with so many needs? That's where it gets a little more complex. Here's the key. We take an innovative approach to investing in more than 80 local programs to help more than 100,000 people in this region. Instead of focusing on one single issue or cause, we focus on a combination of issues that are the building blocks for a good life: education, income, and health. This way, one donation not only goes to the need everyone is aware of, but also to those less obvious but no less important. Help is available, whether it's to teach a child who is disadvantaged to read, provide food and shelter to a homeless family, or keep an elderly person in their home longer. This level of helping is possible because tens of thousands of people across our region generously make donations because they know their money helps our whole community, including people they know, whether it's neighbors, friends, co-workers, family, or even themselves. The beauty is the money raised here stays here in our local community. And this is where it gets really cool. Just like all kinds of people support United Way, all kinds of people make the decisions for funding United Way programs. That's right. More than 100 local people volunteer their time to review these nonprofit organizations in the areas of quality, governance, finance, administration, and measurable results. Because of the commitment of so many generous volunteers, United Way is able to be extremely efficient, keeping costs low so that more people can be helped. That's just part of what we do. By helping, you can change someone's life too. You can help by making a donation to the United Way Community Fund. You can volunteer by getting involved individually, through your company, through our Women's Leadership Initiative action councils and coalitions, you name it. Or be a part of our partnership work that includes AgeWave, Metro Cash, Smart Beginnings, and 211, the direct dial resource line to help people find the help they need. That's it. That's United Way in a nutshell. We help people. We invite you to invest now and live united, because together we can do more than we ever could alone.
Welcome back to the Tracey Mclean Show. We're back here with author ROSSLYN Johnson.
And author Tracey Mclean.
From The Truth Hurts. Now, I was about to say Arthur. Lord, give me.
Well, let me start off by asking you this. Where did the title SHAQUANA Hill originate from?
Wow.
How was that birthed?
Well, I actually was in the midst of writing another book, Memoirs of a Baby Mother, and then one day the Holy Spirit spoke to me and told me to tell my story. And again, I must say, tell my story. When talking about SHAQUANA Hill, it's very sensitive because SHAQUANA Hill is me. SHAQUANA Hill can be anyone. SHAQUANA Hill comes from the Holy Spirit because it actually opens up the door for anyone to understand if this is your story, you are SHAQUANA Hill. And it inspired so much. It inspired a whole book, of course. It inspired a theme song and much more. And as you saw, the Redemption Monologues. So that's basically, I know I gave you a little bit extra.
Well, I had the opportunity to read the entire story from beginning to end, so I'm familiar with the storyline. While writing this story, will you say that it healed you? Was it therapeutic? And were you afraid? Did you have any fears in the midst of writing your story? Were you worried about what others were going to think? Or
I actually went through all types of different emotions. I was afraid how my parents was going to take it, and would you be shunned because you come from I come from the era of, don't tell type of era, and also just totally about how other people were going to take it. And then I became empowered. At the same time, I cried every day. I say it healed me?
I don't mean to cut you off. Did you have anybody that you were open with, that you were able to go to and discuss how you were feeling at that time when you were your teenage years?
No, nobody but myself. I actually...
No older siblings?
No.
Nobody that you could go to that you trusted enough? No one in the schools?
Nobody.
No church folk?
I do have a church lady that I used to tell things, but not to the depth that I wish I could have expressed myself. But that's why it brought me to who I am today, that I can help. And if you need somebody to talk to, you can call me, because that actually made me, the motherly type of person that I would help you out, because I didn't have that. Like, I didn't want to tell my mom because I was scared to, and
did your mom make you not feel?
It had nothing to do with
how she
yeah,
made
it
you
didn't
feel.
have anything to do with how she made me feel. More so how my perpetrator made me feel, and and how the acts made me feel. It made me feel as if I was nasty, dirty. I just was violated from top to bottom. And then it kept happening as I grew. And here today, I actually realized something, because recently someone's significant other was making an advance at me. And I was like, I don't understand this. This is crazy. But it made me go right back to being a little girl. It made me get right back in my shell, as if all over again I was 9 years old. And I don't think nobody can understand how unfair that is. And in my heart, I just feel so bad for people that go through this on a daily basis. I'm one of those people that, because I grew and I grew stronger, I grew more to the end of I'm angry, and I'm not gonna let you do this to this person, or I'm not gonna allow you to hurt. But I need everybody to understand that it takes so much from you and who you are.
Stripped.
You're stripped, and that's where SHAQUANA Hill stripped come from. You're stripped of all the goodness and all the purity.
You're stripped of all your first.
everything